Welcome back to the Audacity Hour. We're here with Clarissa and Mary.
Thank
How are you today,
you,
Mary?
Clarissa. I am doing well today. We're doing well. We've had a really relaxing weekend, and
It's
I'm
a
just
little gloomy
excited.
today, but
It's gonna rain in the next couple days, so
oh,
that's
okay,
kind of
okay, that
lame.
makes sense.
It's been a full moon.
Oh, is it within this moon? We are not supposed to manifest anything. We're actually supposed to release, which makes so much sense
Oh
because
my,
for me this week, it's been relaxing for you. I've been on the opposite spectrum where
yeah. Tell me.
a lot has happened, but
Okay.
in good ways, where
Okay.
I was able to release a lot of demons, is all I'm going to say, and
Good.
release a lot of things that weren't serving me. Honestly, it feels good. A lot
I'm
of
so
weight has been lifted
happy.
off my shoulders. I'm allowing new doors to open while I shut all these other doors. So
Mm.
I'm excited.
That's amazing, Clarissa.
Mhm.
I rejuvenation. I think
Yes,
is what's
I
happened.
cleansed the hell out of my soul the past couple of days.
Drinking moon water,
And the moon water has
everything,
cleansed the hell out of it.
cleansing
I didn't do it on the
everything.
first though, because the first is when
Really?
we allow for abundance to come in.
Are you
So
saying every month?
yeah, we allow for
Really?
abundance to come in, so don't clean on the first.
Don't clean on the first.
Don't sweep
Okay.
anything out. Don't sweep anything out, pretty much.
We talk more about this on our Discord. I have to tap more into that because I
It's a
right,
lot. It's a learning curve.
yeah, it is a
Yeah.
learning curve for me because right now in my life I have so much that is on my heart and on my soul. It's relatively new, so I'm still
You're learning the ropes.
yeah.
It's honestly, it's like that spirituality aspect of life
Yeah.
is very much it's like when people kind of convert into a new religion. If you
Yeah.
well, it's like learning a whole new skill
Whole new
and
skill.
adapting to it.
Whole new world,
But
whole
you
new
don't realize
person.
nowadays, like a lot of modern day, a lot of people do a lot of spiritual things that are connected to I don't want to say that it's connected to certain religions because they're not. It's a mass of everything, but a lot of artists, a lot of big celebrities, you
Mhm.
wouldn't even know, but they really do connect themselves back to Earth and Mother Earth and kind
Really?
of that whole thing, kind of just grounding themselves back,
Really?
which is funny because a lot of them talk about how like it's brujeria and it's this and it's that. They think it's
Yeah.
witchcraft, and I'm like, damn, we
I thought we
all
were
originated from
yeah,
this earth.
thought we were done with that conversation mindset with what you're doing is witchcraft and that's weird and
But
what
anything
we're talking
when
about.
so where
Yeah,
did that come from? It comes
yeah.
from that standpoint of religion. Anyone that believes in a really cult type of vibe of religion,
A lot of quotes out there.
anything that's not what they do, it's
Yeah,
giving jock. When you're high school, you're the weird kid. So anything outside of that religion, there is the weird kid.
yeah, yeah.
So when it comes to spirituality, they're like, well, you don't believe in God, you don't believe in this, and spirituality doesn't mean that you're stuck into one region.
Mhm,
You can
mhm,
believe in whatever the hell you want to believe
mhm.
in. And
Gosh.
and I'm not shoving it down your throat at the same time.
Yeah, which the opposite gets shoved down your throat. What you're saying about Christianity or religion, or you have to be a certain way, or your spirituality has to be this and this. That gets shoved down your throat.
Did you hear
Right.
about the walk for peace from the Buddhist
Oh my
monks?
gosh, yes. I was watching their whole entire walk, and I
Mhm.
would have loved to be in their grace and
Yeah,
vicinity.
they
It was
walked
so
for peace
yeah,
because of everything that's going on in the world,
yeah.
right? The only time they
So
were ever
monumental.
dealt with or somebody stopped them was another religious group that said
Who what was it?
I
What
believe they were
religious
Christian. Yeah.
yeah,
Another
say.
religious group that was pretty upset at them, saying that what they're doing, they didn't really go into, that regard of what they're doing
Mhm.
is bad, but they're saying if you give yourself to Jesus Christ, then you'd be able to go to
You
heaven. And there was a monk that stepped up and he was, to your
Jesus.
religion, this is mine. This has nothing to do with it. We're just walking for peace.
Yeah.
And this
Nothing to do
protester,
with religion.
yeah, this protester
For
was still
peace.
going, you need to believe in God and God is going to bring you to this and that. And I'm like, and that's the whole thing about it. Don't shove anything down my throat. Don't
100%.
make me, we live in America.
Yeah.
You're not going to tell me, you're not going to give me this
Correct.
propaganda that something is better than something
Yep.
else
Propaganda.
because you were raised to believe that, like, not even to an extent, to
Yeah.
every extremity out there, but I'm like, that's crazy that these monks are walk to show that we can come back together as within humanity, and
Yeah.
you're still doing exactly the opposite. It freaking frustrates the hell out of me. We just
The
mind our business and do what we need to do.
audacity. The
No,
audacity of
really.
these Christian groups sometimes, of these religious groups, 100%.
That was interesting.
I saw the whole walk. It was so amazing. I wish I had been in their
Space. It
space.
kind of just
Yeah.
reminds me of how, again, that type of mindset, that sheep mindset, right?
Uh-huh.
you kind of just fall into the fact that this is what because you were taught
Yeah,
this way
the
and
conformity.
but because you were taught this way, because you were raised this way, doesn't mean you can't change out of that later when you're older and you
Yeah,
have your own mind.
yeah.
And it kind of brings me into a topic that I really
Which
wanted
one?
to touch base
Which
on,
one?
where
Go.
I've seen listened to Beyonce a couple days ago, right?
We love Queen Bee. We love
We
Queen
do,
Bee.
we do, we do.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, at least normal guys that I've spoke to, right? I'm always like, I'll listen to her, I'll have her music blasted, right?
Yeah.
And I've had guys tell me like, she is so trash, she can't sing, she can't dance, she's so overrated. I'm like, wait, why is she overrated? Beyonce is for the girls and the gays. We know that, right? Beyonce is known, she's known to,
100%.
she's you can tell she's a feminist. She's always
She's
for the girls.
yes.
She's always for the girls, and she's always praising
Girls Run the World was one of her
exactly.
songs.
The main songs. I had these guys that were just, she's so overrated, she's this, and I'm like, you listen to the most
Garbage.
trash music. You want to say she's overrated? At the same time, why is she overrated? They're like, she's not even. This is the only conversation. This is the only debate that they've ever given me. Even as good looking as people say she is.
Ew.
What are we talking about? We're talking about her music. We're
What?
talking about her, the way, like, who she is, or we're talking about what she's for. And you're talking about what she looks like.
Of
And then it's the
course.
same people.
Not shocked at
It's the
all.
same people again for me because I know there's guys who like Beyonce. I know
Oh,
that,
yeah.
but they don't want to say it because other
Yeah,
guys don't like
and
Beyonce
because Beyonce is for the girls and the gays.
mainly.
Like,
So they think if I like her music, then
yeah,
I swing
I
that
could be
way.
a certain way.
And I'm like, music is music. Music is supposed to bring people together.
Yeah.
So why is it that now we're having this debacle about what's bad and what's not? Then again, what I was going to say earlier is that it goes back to the whole point of I've seen these same guys, right? These red pill guys, or they think at least,
Yeah.
say that Ice Spice is a good artist.
She's
I-
trendy.
I
She's
think-
trendy.
I think she's great. I think she's great. Is she a good artist with her music content?
She doesn't change the culture.
No.
Like Beyonce has for so long. I think she's trendy. I think she has a lot of cool songs and they are on social media all the
Mhm.
time.
I think they're one-hit wonders.
Yeah, they don't go deep. The depth is not there compared
No.
to Beyonce. Yeah.
But the reason why people like her
Yeah, why?
is because of what she looks like and what she stands for and how she presents
What does she
herself.
stand for? I don't know.
I don't really know what she stands for, honestly, but I do know that she is more for the male gaze than Beyonce is.
Okay.
And she's really
She's-
young. I think she's
yeah,
still trying
she
to
is
figure
really
herself out.
young.
I think in the industry, the quickest way to get yourself out there is to kind of gear towards what men like. Sydney Sweeney. I'm not saying I like Sydney Sweeney. Sydney's who? I said Sydney Sweeney is from Euphoria. She's an actress.
That's
Boobs.
right. She's the art. Oh my gosh. She was in The Handmaid's Tale. Do you know that? Oh my god. Anyway, that's also a little tidbit because that was when she was really young. You would have
Oh.
not recognized her. She was totally flat chested, all the things, and then she perked up. So continue. What,
But no,
so
the-
what about her? Isn't she dating that one like really douchebag
Yeah.
guy
Yeah.
promo
Something like that.
manager?
Yeah.
Go ahead. Sorry.
The whole thing with Sydney Sweeney is
Yeah.
that
What is it?
she's not good of an actress.
Yeah.
People love her because of her boobs.
Yep.
She's not that pretty.
Yeah.
I can't say that.
She's got the body. She's got
Yeah,
the look.
But I can't say that because I can't hate on her because she's doing her damn thing.
yeah.
I was again the reason why I think she's skyrocketed as much as she's has is because of the male gaze because it is very much her audience is that.
Yes. Do you know what? I don't want to say she's the modern day Marilyn Monroe because no one can even be
don't-
there. Okay. But
After that.
I'm just what I see is that like a sex
symbol.
sex symbol, sex icon,
Mhm.
and then she is dating these men that are totally toxic. But then everyone loves her. She's totally famous. So that's the parallel I'm trying to draw from. Like she's not a fashion icon or anything like that, but going into that, do you think that these artists and these actresses, their artistry is treated differently than in the male sphere? Okay. What do you think about that?
Well, honestly, they have to work a little harder, and I think them working
Okay.
harder means they have
Okay.
to put themselves out there.
Yeah.
And a lot of them have exposed themselves physically to be out there.
Yes.
And again, if you listen to the content and the lyrics from specific artists, it's the ones that, especially in the rap game, because
Yeah.
the rap game is mainly for men. When it comes to rappers, when it comes to like Lotto, when it comes to Ice Spice, when it comes to Saweetie,
Would Lizzo be in that category? You think
Lizzo's her
more-
own. She's in her own
Yeah,
category.
she's not on like pop.
But she does her own thing.
thing,
She
yeah.
gives no shits,
Yeah.
and that's why like people like her. Right?
I like her.
The whole thing with these three artists specifically,
Mhm.
they're rap artists. Lil Kim, they have to over sexualize themselves to put their name on the spot, to
Yeah.
put their name out there because it's a male fields rap. Whether it's the way that they look or the way that they speak upon themselves, if you listen to their lyrics, a lot of it is really derogatory towards themselves and women. at least what it sounds like, what they have to offer in those lyrics is like, I have good this and I have good that. Yeah.
And that they're better than all these other bitches
Yeah.
out there. I've heard that too.
It really does suck because again, it puts that narrative of us
Yeah.
going against each other again.
Yeah.
Look, if you listen to a lot of,
100%.
there's a lot of new rap artists that are coming out, right?
Yeah.
I'm not really big into rap, but I've heard it mainstream. These artists suck. Their flow sucks. Their lyrics suck. Everything. They're ugly.
Yeah, and then compared to the 90s and the 2000s,
Repetitive lyrics,
yeah.
right? They suck, but they skyrocket these men, right? So, which
Yeah.
is crazy because I don't really see because unfortunately, Ice Spice has to work way harder, more
she
clothes
does. Yep.
than this
Yep.
ugly dude who's singing about random ass fucking lilies in the field because he's a guy and the guys will hype him up and get him
Yeah.
up there
And they start
pull him up to where
Yep.
he needs to be.
I don't want to say they started the industry, but they control the
Yes,
industry.
they maintain it. for
Yeah,
sure.
they maintain it. And it's like going back to Diddy and
Oh,
I get Woo! That's the D word. Like Diddy and Tupac and during time and era, that is where the control and the industry really was established. And then if you want to be in that club, if you want to be in that space, you have to go to certain lengths. And we can even look into it. Ice Spice, like the record label that she's a part of, I'm assuming it's going to be a male dominated record label.
yeah.
Who are really, I don't want, maybe they're not telling her what to do, but if she has to work with them. She has to go through them. 100%. I see that.
Oh my god, speaking of artists, okay, so I was talking about this with a friend yesterday.
Okay.
You know the artist Neo, right? He's an
So,
R&B artist.
Neo?
He had his prime back in like thousands.
Yeah, I've heard of it.
And it kind of brought me, we were kind of touching base on this topic about, so when female artists or female celebrities, this whole thing when it comes to what you call it, a female artist or female celebrity, anyone within the limelight, anytime they leave a relationship, no matter the time frame in between, there's always some backlash about like, oh, she moved on so quickly. This is every day, everyday stuff. She moved on so quickly, like Lori Harvey. They're like, oh, she's Lori Harvey, which is Steve Harvey's daughter. For the girls, they're like, period, right?
Wait,
Because
who did she date again?
Michael B. Jordan.
Oh, that's right,
Yes,
she
yes,
did.
that's just what the slut shame her, right? Good for her.
Yeah.
Theo
Okay.
is this artist who really peaks back in like 2000s. He sells music here and there, R&B artist. With that being said, I used to love him, right? My first concert was him.
Really?
Was his concert.
That's so fun.
And then I found out a couple years ago, he's a weirdo.
He's like,
a
okay.
weirdo. So he is
There's levels to
he
these
is in
weirdos.
a polyamorous, which is multiple relationships, but
my
he
God.
keeps all of these women with him. He's been in interviews where they're not allowed to date outside of me, but I can have whoever I want and I can add whoever I want without their consent. And yes, it's up to them, but at the same time, it's becoming a more modern day thing, polyamorous relationships. But I've noticed that.
I'm so happy you're bringing this up, Clarissa.
But I've
Continue.
noticed that obviously when it goes back to religion, Mormons and whatnot, that was a big thing where,
Yes.
but it was always dictated by the man.
Yeah.
How come a woman can't be in a polyamorous relationship and have multiple husbands or multiple boyfriends?
It circles back to what we've been talking about past episodes, which is even with royalty, they had mistresses, they had multiple wives. And then the women were punished or the men got jealous if they were to branch out and do their own thing, but they could do whatever they want. It's like, it's total, like that's what they want. It's total historical. Like, I'm not even surprised.
And now we're trying to change the history and and us as women, we're trying to do the same thing they're doing. And now obviously they're slut shaming us, they're telling us this, or telling us that. Why is that a problem now that we're doing what you're doing? And we've touched base on this so many times. Now that we're doing what you're doing, you're so hurt. But you've done it to us for the last couple of years, our entire marriage. And as soon as I do one little inkling of what you did, you're crying, and you're hurt, and you're mad.
It goes back to the one thing that makes him crumble.
But you did this for years. You did this our entire marriage.
Yeah, I have to comment on that, Chris, because yes, this polygamous relationships, swinging, soft swinging, it's such a huge conversation right now because and it's nothing new. This has been happening for a long time. But it's more, and even in religion, you're saying the spotlight is on religion and people who have such a strict moral compass, and they on the outside, then
strict moral compass, but then they kind of justify it as to I can do this because God told me it's allowed.
Yes.
So it's a strict moral compass until it doesn't apply to you, and then I'm gonna tweak it a little bit, and now we're gonna change
the patriarchy, 100%. Yes, and so it goes into what does a polygamous relationship mean to you, Thriller?
I don't really know what that is. All I know is that I know it stems from religion, and I know it was from what I've read. Men would have multiple wives because it would bring in more children, and the more children that they would have, it'd bring them closer to the
Yeah.
kingdom.
Closer to
Yes.
power and
Yes.
control. Yay. Okay. That's essentially what I think as well. It's a male that has allowing these multiple relationships. Well, do you think that open relationship and polygamous are the same thing? I don't know.
I don't think they are, because with an open relationship,
Okay.
you're able to have multiple relations, but you're
Mhm.
not going to create children and bring them into the world.
They're
A lot of
right.
open
They are
relationships,
different. You're
yeah,
right. Yeah,
a
yeah,
lot
yeah,
of
yeah.
at least from what I've seen, a lot of open relationships, they allow for separate partners, but you still
Yeah.
come back into unity and you come back to your family at the end of the
So
night.
you and that's where you procreate. You
Yes.
don't do that on
Yeah.
on the
Yeah. With
sides.
polyamorous
Yeah.
relationships or
You
polygamous relationships, it very much is the whole
you
thing of
can have kids. Yeah.
separate families, but we all come together as
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think that could be healthy? Like, do you think there could be a healthy space for that?
The people that are in the relationships
Yeah.
have a good mental
Yeah.
to be in those, and you also have to know
Yeah.
how to share your partner.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
not for that.
I'm not for that either. That's crazy.
But
Crazy.
that's them, and if they're
Right.
okay with it, if they feel okay with it, that's from what I've seen and from people who've been in the spotlight, have been in relationships like that,
Yeah.
they've came out later stating that they weren't happy in those
Mhm.
relationships. I think at the time they were just there to please each other,
Yeah.
but I don't prefer it.
Same.
What you do with your life is your life.
If it works,
It works.
okay, it works, and then you have to check all the boxes, do the right thing along
Yeah.
the way, and then make sure that the children and yourself are safe mentally, physically.
My thing, and I always
So,
tell my kids this too,
yeah,
is
what is
you
it?
do whatever you want to do in life as long as you're not hurting anyone else. Because I know we kind of touch base on
Reiterate that.
religion too, where people are going
Yeah.
to say, well, Mary, Clarissa, you said it doesn't matter as long as, these people do what they do.
Mhm.
The only difference is when it comes to specific religious groups and something of this sort, you're in my face telling me what to do with my life.
Yeah.
I don't care what you do. I don't care if you believe in demons, for all I fucking care.
Yeah.
But don't try to spew that on me,
Yeah.
especially when I've already told you several times
Yeah.
that I don't care for that.
Yeah.
It's the same
100%.
thing. I wouldn't have polyamorous couples come up to me and say, "Well, you should do this."
Yeah.
I don't have them do that. They don't come up to me and say that. So that's saying, you guys live your best life and you have
And
a good time.
yes, and I agree with that, and I think the bottom line for everything is that you have to have a conversation. It has to be open, it has to be flowed, it can't
Yes.
when it doesn't work, and what I've seen even on these new
There's
shows,
boundaries.
there's boundaries, and there's rules and conversation, real deep
Yes.
conversation. When it doesn't work is that I've seen like my favorite show, Secret Life of Mormon Wives. What they did is that they're in a Mormon church, and then they are into this stuff. They're
Mhm.
into bringing other couples into their space and doing things going outside their marriage and doing all of that. But let me tell you something is that within that, I have been learning and reading that it's the men that are wanting that first. I think the women, like, we want it or we can, that's fine, but that's not our first go to
No.
because we're mom. We're
Well,
trying to
women
figure
like
out
to
our
work
life.
on this is what we talked
Yeah.
about before, where women
Yeah.
to work on what they have. They like to
Yeah.
nurture what they have
Yeah. Right.
as opposed to bringing more into
Yeah.
adding more to their plate. There's
Yeah.
already so much on our plate already.
Exactly. The husbands are bringing this into their lives but there's not a conversation about it. We're going to do this because it feels good and it's fun and because we want to maybe get outside of our construct.
Mhm.
And then that's where it goes crazy and
Yeah.
things get really, really messy.
I think for you to
Mhm.
be in something of that sort, you would have to have a really good emotional state and you
Yeah.
would have to have a lot of trust with your partner.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, 100%.
And even in relationships where it's one in one, I was
Yeah.
you still have to work on that in
Yeah.
itself where you have to have trust within your partner. So,
And no outside substances, alcohol or drugs or
mhm.
anything like that.
Yeah.
I see these open relationships that don't have these deep conversations that
Can
are
turn
on a whim.
lastly.
Those things are usually involved. Alcohol or drugs
Mhm.
or nicotine or whatever. That's all involved, and that's where it just goes crazy, and a lot of people can get hurt. So, but it's
Too possessive.
yeah,
But not possessive. I just know what's mine is mine and what's yours is
100%.
yours.
Yes. And like what I've also noticed even about myself, even real time in my life, you can feel it in sometimes in these
Yeah.
situations with other parents that I know or that I meet. Maybe it's because I'm still a really young parent. And a lot of parents that I know are also really young. If there's an attractive man or woman, you feel it. Like people want to be around that and want to explore those things, even if they're moms, even if they're married,
Yeah.
even if whatever.
But if that works for you, then go ahead and do it. As long
Yeah,
as it doesn't hurt anyone else, it's
that's
consensual
true.
among everyone.
It's true, 100%, as long as you have these, like, deep conversations. But I think that was new for me to feel and to
Mhm.
understand within the last couple of years. And so I'm like, oh, wow. It's not for me. I can't even think about diving into that at all.
Oh my gosh.
But at the same time, I'm not going to be a prude. I'm not going to
Yeah.
be like, don't get near me or I can't
No.
talk to you or whatever.
Tell
That's
me
not
your story. I'd love to hear it. But you're not gonna hear mine.
correct.
Of that sort.
I'm so about it. Like, well, here, tell me. I'm curious,
Yeah.
but I can never be in that space with you.
Like I said, I wouldn't say possessive. I'm territorial. I'm territorial. I would not be okay with that.
Yeah, no, I think there's too much of me questioning my reality for that,
Mhm.
and I already have plenty of that in my life.
Yeah.
So,
No, really.
okay, so I love how you said the word possession and
Mhm.
possessive. Okay,
Yeah.
because I would like to dive into that and the possessiveness of relationships and with adults, and I think even especially with men and
Mhm.
how men have this possessiveness about them.
Back to
Yeah,
power.
it's true. Now, do
Mhm.
you think that men practice possessiveness more than women? Or what is it equal? It could be
It's funny
balanced.
because when you say the word possessive, people automatically assume a woman, right? Because they're like, "Oh, she's jealous that she's
Oh,
I've had this conversation
right.
where I'm like, "I'm not jealous. I'm not jealous because jealous means that it's something that I don't have and I want it. I don't want it. If you're mine, if that's mine, whether it's my
Yeah.
kids, whether it's my man, whether it's my house, whether it's my property, it's mine.
Yeah.
I can't be jealous of something if it's mine. That's my that now let's get into that fact that I'm territorial. That is correct. Yes.
Okay. Territorial. Yeah.
Yes.
Women are territorial, as we're saying. But I want to,
Because as
yeah.
we are nurturers and we take care of our own.
Yeah. That's true.
But I'm never gonna be jealous because I don't want what you have.
Yeah, I love that about you, Clarissa. And I'm glad you made that distinction. I just want to say, I think that if women are going to be called possessive, or if we feel that we're possessive, because we are reactive and reactionary of men controlling us, or other people possessing and trying to possess us and control us. She said in the last clubs, women we love so hard and we were so about that, but we don't belong to anybody, and our love doesn't belong to everybody. Like, we're not
Mhm.
for everybody.
Yeah.
Nobody owns us, and we don't belong to anybody. So
Possessive, if we really wanna speak upon possession and how men are possessive, I wouldn't say women are possessive. Again, men have thrown that narrative toward us to kind of make it to demonize us. But if you wanna talk about possessive, when it comes to relationships
mhm.
and, when it comes to statistics
Yeah.
of men hurting women and men killing women, that goes into possession and how
Ah.
a woman won't leave right away, especially when she's like in a domestic violence situation
Uh,
because men are so possessive, right? To the point where she'll attempt so many times to leave.
women will hesitate or
Yeah.
they'll
But she'll attempt so many
okay.
times to leave because a man will be so possessive over her where he will get to the point where he will hurt her. And most times
Mhm.
right before a woman, number one, they always say, don't tell, just move in silence. Because once you
Mm,
tell, he's going to say, you can't be with anyone else.
yeah,
I've seen this in my own like
really.
friends or acquaintances, right? Where
Yeah. What
we've
is
heard
it?
several stories, right? Where as soon as they say that we're done, we want to leave, it's when the guy gets extra controlling and
Yep.
extra possessive to the
Yep.
point where there's been so many statistics where men have murdered women. So if you want to talk about possession in men, I do feel because they don't know it hurts their ego.
Yeah. Where's their ego?
And I think that's where because what
It's
does the word
fear.
possession mean to you?
It means control. It means ownership.
Yes.
So
And I think that's another thing where
or the
once
thought of ownership.
they can't control us, it hurts their ego. The sun always comes
Oh
out
my god.
when we're talking. It's crazy. It hurts their ego. Yeah. And I don't think honestly, as much as women love, we also know how to detach when it doesn't serve us anymore. I don't
100%.
think we fall into that as hard as they do into that
Yeah.
category of possession because we know when it doesn't serve us, we just let it go. We will work very, very hard to get to that point to nurture what we have. We put in so much into this flower and we watered it and we make sure to cut the roots and do this and cut the leaves off. Then we know that when it's dying, we have to let it go. We let it go.
Yeah.
Men don't do that.
No, I think it goes back to identity. If they start to let go of certain things like their women, their relationship, then it goes back to their identity and losing part of that. And they have to have such a hold on this like alpha male identity. And to maintain that, they have to have women and or even physical things.
Yeah.
They'll hold on to anything to keep
Yeah.
that, really.
And it's weird because
Okay.
I kind of thought about this too, where how when a woman leaves, I've had this said to
Uh-huh.
me, right?
What?
When a woman leaves and they move on into a new relationship,
Yeah.
that's crazy. You're with this person for so long and all of a sudden you're in a new relationship because we mentally, everything dies within the relationship
Yeah.
because we hold on to it physically and allow for that emotional state to hit us and hit us and hit us. And because we think, oh, they're going to change. Something better is going to happen. Something better is going
Mhm.
to happen. Right. And then when we finally have enough, we physically move on.
Yeah.
But keep this in mind, we could have been together for X amount of years,
Uh-huh.
but 2 years ago, I gave up on you, but I stayed because I thought you could change. With men, it doesn't go that way. Something happens and, their partner they're done with, but
Mhm.
they linger and they hold on to that partner,
Yeah.
even with new partners, and
Yep.
they hold on to them for so long. I think the saying of
Okay.
the one that got away really pertains to men. We know when they don't serve us and we don't like that. It doesn't serve us anymore. There's no
Yeah.
purpose anymore. So we
Yeah.
know it's time to be gone.
Yeah.
But men will hold on to the one girl or the one partner they had that they loved for so long.
Yeah.
But then there's that whole, I don't know if you heard that saying where not saying, but there's basically this thing going around where people are saying that a man knows like he will love one person his entire life, but he will marry the person that will settle for him.
Interesting.
Mm.
And men keep a hold of that love, especially they'll keep a hold of especially the women that change their life, that make huge impact, that they feel
Yes.
something with. They
But
hold on to that.
at the same time, if you're marrying a
Yeah.
woman that you don't feel that way towards because that was your first love or whoever it was, right?
Mhm.
If you're marrying her, why are you marrying her? That's a
Yeah.
choice. It's not like before where we were marrying people, to trade land and
Yeah,
whatnot. But it's a
business.
choice now where you are stringing along a woman because you just want to be married now because you're getting older, because
Yeah.
your friends are having kids and
Yeah.
your friends are getting married.
Yeah.
And you don't even care about this girl. Have you heard of the
Mhm.
song by Jesse Reyes? Couldn't Be Me?
I probably heard of it.
The lyrics basically go, she
Hear it
says,
in my head.
it couldn't be me, where she was the girl that got away. This is from her perspective. And now you're with the girl with the you have a white picket fence in the house, but she's okay with you cheating on her as long as you come home to her every night.
Right.
Yeah.
You can do whatever you want because then at the end of the day, you'll still come back to your American dream,
And it
and that
sucks.
she'll maintain that.
And it
Wow.
sucks that some women have believed
Mhm.
that that's okay and that's
Yeah.
normal
Yeah.
because as long as I have the husband, as long
Yeah,
as he comes back to me.
exactly, because women's a lot of the time are safe in that conformity. They're safe in that
Mhm.
image because they're not gonna get ridiculed for it. They're not gonna be, torn down from
Mhm.
it. They're safe in that.
What's really funny, it's funny that you're talking all this crap and you don't even have a man like that.
He's big mad.
They're like the man is the prize. Meanwhile, they're with a woman that they hate. Man, wait
Who's
a
the real
minute.
loser here?
So I'm like, you're calling me a loser because I don't have a man. Meanwhile, I don't want one, but you're with a woman that you hate. Make that make
Yeah,
sense, please?
yeah. Sounds you have the real loser life,
And you're the same
okay?
dude that's on Reddit jacking off to
Yeah.
random women. Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
You're the one
I'm the loser.
ghosting people
But I was
and
like,
being a ghost on
aren't
social
you
media.
married? But you're talking to other women, but I'm the loser, right? Yeah. So
And it's like, hey, bring it out. Let's bring these guys out. Like they're all ghosting and they're all having like anonymous on social media. Like we want to hear it. Bring it out because we know it's out there
yeah.
and we know you hide it, but hey, we're here to hear it and
Yeah. Yeah.
expose it, So
But that's
that
what
was
again,
funny.
I've had that said to me so many times. Like it's the be all end all because you're not in a relationship.
Oh my god. No. What are we
I was
gonna
like,
do?
I've left my relationships for a reason. Okay. I was like, that was a choice. So
Yeah.
I wasn't forced.
Yeah.
And no one's
Of
forced to
course.
be here. No one's forced to be in a marriage.
Yeah, and
It's
we're happy.
2026.
Yeah, 26. And we're happy to be this way. We don't it's like you don't
I
any
was like,
woman
no,
doesn't
I
need
was
to
like,
be that
I would
way.
love to be married one day, right? But I would
Sure.
love to be married to someone who actually
Same.
loves me. I would not want some
Yep.
I wouldn't want my husband to be a loser online looking up girls. Okay.
Yeah.
That's the like thing. No, I would
Any
not
of that.
I would want my husband to love me and to come home to me and to
Yeah.
think about me as opposed to a loser saying that I love my wife online and then
Yeah.
have a whole spank bank with other women in his
Oh god.
in his phone. So
On social
I
media.
think that's a loser.
Same here. I do believe that that is out there for people, 100%. Like there is men out there who are I champion them with that,
No, I'm sure.
but I don't know. Do you think it's harder nowadays for men to really walk that path?
I think with social media,
I
it's
think
harder,
so.
but at the
I
same
think so
time,
too.
you're an adult.
Right.
We said, let's not we're not little
Yeah.
kids. We're not little kids,
You
like,
don't have to have a phone.
we're not hitting puberty for the first time looking at Pornhub, okay? So, like, you're an adult.
You don't have to click. You don't have to subscribe.
Exactly, 'cause women, we do that, but we don't do
Yeah.
that to the extent that they do it.
Yeah.
I'm not on fucking Pornhub every
Yeah.
single night needing to freaking, go crazy.
We're not looking for that stuff. And then even if we are funneled into it or
Mhm.
if we are looking for it, we have boundaries with it.
Yeah.
And that's healthy. And it doesn't extend to other things in our life that could hurt other people.
Yes.
It's like emotionally managed.
I had several guys tell me that I wouldn't like it if my girlfriend did OnlyFans, or I wouldn't like it if my et cetera, X, Y, and Z,
Yeah,
then
that's
be the same
shaming.
person to
It's shame.
purchase
Yeah.
the same content and the same person to go and say, "Oh, I don't like cheaters," but then go out and cheat. Like, okay, hypocrite.
So you're just a bunch of hypocrites, 100%. And I want to go back to possession and then even sexuality and virginity, all of that. I also think possession is not only is it about control and power, but it also is about sex too. I think what we see on the internet when it comes to sexual things, it's male dominated.
Mhm.
Even in like pictures or even on
When it comes to
Instagram, like
sexual things, that's as much as they say sex sells and they utilize women
yeah.
as sex sells.
I see if possession isn't about a physical person or things. It's also about their own mindset that we see out in the world, and what we're taught is that men dominate women in every way, sexually, emotionally, physically, financially. So then that creates that possession aspect of it is, well, we dominate you, so we possess you, so we control you, so we own you, you
And
know?
that's I think they're more sexually powered than we are, even though this
Oh,
is passionate.
yes.
Even though they say,
Yeah.
sex sells, and most times a
Yeah.
sex icon is gonna be a woman.
Yeah.
They're more sexually powered in the sense of regular people. The more partners a man has, the
Mhm.
bigger their ego gets, and the
Yeah.
more when it comes to the, camaraderie among other men
Yeah.
is, "Oh, wow, he has all these girls, and he has this, and he's that, and he can bag
Yeah.
this, and he bag
And then
that."
you can that's part of the selling point
Yeah.
for them.
And then it kind of comes back into the slut shaming among us. Well, how come we can't do that?
Yeah.
Because they go, well, somebody is putting something inside of you as opposed to me putting something. What is the difference?
Yeah. It's
Because
0
because
difference.
Bonnie Blue, right? She's
Yeah.
that porn star,
I
OF
don't
porn
know
star
about her.
that had sex with like 100 men,
Oh,
right,
really?
within 24 hours.
Oh,
And a lot of
really?
people just slut shame the shit out of her.
Okay.
With that being said,
She's OnlyFans?
yeah, she's
Oh, okay,
OnlyFans.
OnlyFans,
That's what
yeah.
she chose to do. And
Yeah.
what's weird is these guys lined up. These guys signed up and
Why are
lined
we
up.
not talking about that?
These guys signed up and lined up.
Probably for free.
So I was like, there was that, right? She made content out of it. She made money. Good for
Yeah.
her. But if a man were to do this, you ask a man
Yeah.
his body count and it's super high, and
Yeah.
guys are like,
Yeah,
oh.
that's great. Good for you, bro.
Meanwhile, you pumped 3 times and you were done. Does that count as a body at that point? I'm gonna say no.
Dead. I'm gonna say no too. Gonna say no to that.
Yeah.
I I am dead. That's exactly what I'm saying. My thought is that what it also comes back to is conversation.
Mhm.
Men or and women, I think as a whole, sexuality is not a huge conversation, and it should be definitely among men because what is the conversation for them is that, well, I'm a man, I have a dick, I can do what I want,
Mhm.
basically, and then they do it,
Yeah.
and then they own that, you
What I
know.
don't like,
What?
I don't like the conversation about how a lot of they've they villainized us in this
Yeah,
aspect where they said,
totally.
you're a woman, you have a womb, like you should treat it sacred. It's sacred to you, right?
You
Because
have more
we
standards
create
and
we
morals.
create
Yeah,
life, and with that
yeah,
being said, I create life, I can choose who I'm doing it with. I should be able to have that choice.
yeah,
You don't get to tell me I'm sacred. I know that already. You don't get to
yeah,
tell me my womb is sacred. I know that already.
yeah.
And what I do with it is none of your business. Whatever you do, you can't do anything with that sperm. Sorry. You still need me.
It's still in petri dish. So
But
figure
they're
it
telling
out.
us again, they made it to a point where we now look at each other. A lot of women would look at other women and be, oh my God, we're having sex with all these people, right?
Yeah,
But at the same time, we never were taught that until they taught us that.
yeah. Oh, I
I'm the
like
creator of life.
that.
I can do whatever the hell I want to do.
Yes. Very interesting how you said that. That women with this conversation about sex and sexuality, it is filtered a lot of the time through men, with
Mhm.
men. And then that's where partly where we learn it. And I've experienced that 100%. And changing that is a huge thing. Changing that conversation. It comes from us, from within, from what we feel, what we are, our choice.
Mhm.
That's a beautiful thing,
That's where
Marissa.
I would love to touch base on
What?
polyamorous relationships, where
Yeah.
I'm so happy that these women, again, if they're content with it and they're
Mhm.
content with having multiple children, that's on them. As
Yeah.
long as it's their choice. I'm happy with women who don't want to have kids. That's their choice. Because guess what? In the end, this world is not surviving without us.
Yeah.
We are the creators.
Yeah.
And
we
then you
are.
want to tell us that God created us? He's a man.
Explain that.
How did he carry a
How
child?
does that make sense?
Mary still had to be the one.
Yeah. It's funny how she's not as sacred and as worshipped as God and as Jesus. It's funny how that
Mhm.
goes. Which is back to what we've been saying is that and about alpha males and possession and the propaganda and control, like it is the men hold the narrative. They've controlled it. And good, you know what? Hey, I give all like they did it. They did it
At least you guys did
successfully.
that.
Yeah, at least that's one thing he's successful at, but then
You manipulated.
yeah, it
It's
wasn't
just
ethical.
manipulation, yeah.
Yeah, and so why I loved it how why we talked about Megan Thee Stallion last time, why her story was so we had to speak upon it because she broke that.
Mhm.
She had the narrative, she came out and she said the truth and she didn't let anybody else change that.
Did you see that there's an illustration that was made upon
Which
what's
one?
happening with her? So basically somebody drew a
Okay.
picture where it's Meg the Stallion, she's
Uh-huh.
bent over, and then there's a line of guys and there's labels of all her ex-partners or so-called ex-partners, right? So
Really?
basically be in line to
Yeah.
do something to her next, right?
Yeah.
And these Red Pill guys are like, "Oh, that's so funny." That's where
That
you're the problem.
yeah.
You think rape is okay
Yeah.
because a woman, again, because a woman is in power and she overpowers you and she's
Yep.
better than you, you're gonna laugh and think that rape is okay.
Yeah.
You guys all know that. What did
Love how
Tupac
we're
say? That
going
we all
into
came
that.
from a woman?
Yes.
You wanna laugh that a woman that there's an
Trying to
illustration of
be
a
cool.
woman getting raped? That's crazy.
That's crazy to us, Clarissa, but that is 100%
That's
in
their
the norm. That's
I wouldn't say it's the norm, but that's what they created to
y
for them to be the norm. For
that's
us,
norm
this
in
is not
their
the norm.
world.
Yeah.
Yeah, in their world is 100 that's what they're safe in, and that's what they talk about, and that's what they live in.
Mhm.
I think especially, it goes even more broader sense about the political culture of our nation and what is happening with that. Those conversations, those topics are validated now more than ever because of who is our president.
Mhm.
You know, we definitely need to have more conversations about domestic violence, about rape, about sexuality, all those things.
Tupac said we all came from a woman. Why do we hate our women?
Yes.
Why do we hate our women?
Oh my
Because
God.
they need to empower us and they feel the need to.
See, support women, people. Bottom line, don't hate on us.
Do you that there's that everyone knows this. When you have that saying of when you allow a woman into your life, she will multiply
Why?
everything
Okay.
within your life. But then at the same time, there's men. And this is there's been statistics about this with men who are loving to their wives and their partners or whomever it is. They have better lives. They live longer and better lives. Yes.
Yeah, the longevity,
Yes,
life
yes.
expectancy.
And
Okay.
they say, what is that
Yes.
saying where they go, happy wife, happy life?
Yes.
But then men who are little shitheads and hate women, they don't have hair.
Yeah. They're gone.
They're balding.
So hey, it's that
Remember, we
the
are
karma.
the creators. We are the creators. The energy that you pull from us can either bring
Yep.
you up or bring you down.
I think that more women stepping into that power and understanding that is the foundation. Like doing that part within ourselves and creating that self-awareness and looking at our core and focusing on
And
ourselves
scientific
first.
facts, we're all born as women first,
Mhm.
okay? And when it comes to sperm, the
Yeah.
girls, we're stronger. That's why we can reach the egg.
God. Wow.
So we're just winning all around. So we're winning all around, even
So
from the beginning of time. That's why
Yep.
you guys have to sit here.
So
And put
we
us
are
down.
goddesses. You all know that. Everybody should know that and remember that and practice that. Okay. There's a lot of life lessons here,
Because
Clarissa.
we are the creator of life.
We're the goddesses of life, I would say. I think that needs to be more talked about than anything. That's definitely a great another topic about the goddesses of women and
Yep.
what that means and what that means. Like I know that's not talked about in a online in everywhere and kind of who we are. It's
Kind of
really
touching back
beautiful.
on spirituality and witchcraft.
You tell me.
The reason why it was shunned among the community mainly was men that shunned women that
Oh, they used it.
practice
Totally
what
used
we
it.
call modern day witchcraft. All it was women who were outside of the norm
Yeah.
and they utilized the earth
Yeah.
to kind of hone in on their skills and hone in on within their
God.
lives, right?
I'm so happy you brought this up.
People, mainly leaders within religion that they
Yep.
cultivated within themselves, men looked at that and said, "This is you guys are witches. You
Yeah.
guys are this. You guys are that." And now it's become a derogatory term to be a witch, right? Salem witch trials and whatnot. When it was women who were out and about, like, frolicking in the fields, trying to make. And most of these women were single women.
Yep.
They weren't married, so they were making ends meet with what they had, and that was living
It
out
was
in the wild.
anything.
Yeah,
It could be anything what women were doing that was not
yeah,
in the in the conformity
yeah. And
of
if you weren't doing what they
religion
were
or
doing,
society. Yep.
you're considered a witch.
Which is why when do you remember when Donald Trump was like, "It's a witch hunt"? This was years ago. He
Yes.
was like, "We're on this witch hunt." Oh my
Mhm.
God, that was the end all be all for me.
A witch is
Bro,
considered derogatory, and then
yeah,
it turned into a bitch,
like
and then it turned into
like,
this.
oh my God, yeah. At that point, realize I'm such in a bubble, and because he never got canceled, he's still a president now, that they're still not canceled, like Kanye West. That is still alive. That
Mhm.
is still alive, and people still live in that narrative. I'm just so happy you brought up witchcraft because I am Scottish, and a lot of those stories come from Scotland, and there's a lot of history about that. Oh my gosh, it's such another good topic because I learned also it came to that too, women who did their own thing were called witches. And then there was also the stories about how women were treated if they were gossiping. There's a book and it shows that women were literally had iron things on their head so they would be quiet so that they wouldn't move. They couldn't move their jaw or their face. They couldn't talk because they were gossipers. It's crazy. That's
They
totally
consider it's so
real.
funny, they consider women gossipers when every single man that I know is a gossip
Oh
girl.
yeah, they're the drama
They turn into
kings.
politicians. That's crazy. They put a label on it.
Hey, that's smart. Honestly, that's a smart move, honestly. Like,
Men gossip all day
no,
long,
they do.
hence the whole
That's
boys' locker room
yeah.
narrative that they
They're
have.
masters at it. Oh my god, speaking of masters, did you hear that movie that came out, Masters of the Universe? I'm
What
so
is
annoyed at that.
what
Oh
is
my
it?
god. Master of the Universe, an alpha male conversation and
Mm.
term. I remember there was this crazy guy that I used to know, like he had a midlife crisis. He would say and send out in text or this is between my friends and the internet and put it out there on social media that he was the master of the universe because those dark spaces of men and conversation, that alpha mentality. Then they created a movie about it, and I was like,
Oh, okay.
so stupid. And thankfully, you haven't heard
This is on
about it.
Tubi.
I know it was literally in the movie theaters.
Never heard of it.
Good. Okay, good. But anyway, it's still what I'm saying is that these conversations are still alive. 100%. It's gross, but
Well,
yeah.
there's that.
Yeah. I'm glad you haven't heard that movie. Don't watch it.
Mhm.
It's gonna be garbage. I know last episode we went to current events in the beginning, so maybe we can circle back to that now. It, saw on the news that the Kentucky Derby happened recently.
Mhm.
And I don't know much about the Kentucky Derby, although I would love to go one
I would
year. It
too.
would be kind of
I
fun.
wanna bet some money and
Yeah.
win some
I
things.
wanna win some money, like, look cute at the same time. But I guess so the horse that won, the trainer, it was a woman trainer, and that was the first woman in the 152 years! 152 years. There's never
Wow.
been a female trainer that's won the Kentucky Derby of 152 years.
Wow, and it's the year of the horse.
Stop it! No, it
It
oh my
is.
god, it is! What the heck? What's I think let me actually look that up really quickly. Sherry Devox, I guess that's
Mm.
French.
Where?
It's right here.
Cherie DeVoe.
Cherie DeVoe. So became the first woman trainer to win the Kentucky Derby in its 152-year
You're from New
history.
Orleans, Miss
I
DeVoe?
know. I
I
don't
love
know.
cream.
Maybe. I don't know much about the Kentucky Derby. I'm gonna actually look it up right now. But that is a very long-standing
Good for her.
event. I know. It was so cool. I think, and she's when seeing videos for her on the internet, and she's so down to earth. She's been doing horse racing for many years,
This is a
and
male-dominated sport.
male dominated sport. Yeah. Now the jockey was he's a male Ortiz, I think.
Woo! An immigrant too. Love it.
Yay! Yes. And it was also great because he was so human and he was like, my family's gonna be so happy and he's crying while he's being interviewed. And it was so
I love
great.
it.
I know. So a little bit on the Kentucky Derby. It's one of the most famous horse races in the world. It's in Louisville. It's a race for 3-year-old thoroughbred horses. And the nickname for it is the most exciting 2 minutes in sports. And
2 minutes. One time it's exciting.
Oh yeah.
Good
So
for
that
her.
yeah, I was really happy to see that, and that's a really cool thing. Champion that and say good for her. I think she's married. She has a couple kids,
And a
and
mom
she's
on
doing
top
it.
of
And
that.
she's a mom. Yeah.
On the year of the horse.
You're the horse. Oh
And
my
Meg the
god.
Stallion
Could it
is
be
coming
anything?
back.
Could be Stallion. This is your moment now. This is your moment. I
She's
really
always shining.
yeah, she will
So,
continue.
yeah.
I cannot wait to see what she has in store next.
I know that album is gonna hit. That next album.
I have been replaying all of her songs and
Supporting women.
really quickly on that. I did that too with Cardi B and Nicki Minaj when
I
that
love
whole
Cardi
bullshit
B's
happened.
music when she's
Me
upset.
too.
Nicki
I
Minaj,
know.
she
Yeah.
can stay where she's at.
Yeah, she can. But yeah, like
Beyonce's Lemonade album after the whole Jay-Z scandal
because yeah, Jay-Z, he cheated on her.
with Becky with good hair.
Stop it. With that was
With
real.
Becky
I forgot about that. Her Lemonade album, and that's
that
my
shit was
favorite
fire.
album.
It
was
still
so good.
plays. It still plays. It's still my playlist. It still plays like daily. So
No, I think music is so transformative and it's so powerful. Yeah, it's art, it's artistry, and it can go so many ways, politically, racially, spiritually, 100%. But anyway, Cardi B and Nicki Minaj, when Nicki was supporting Trump and doing all these crazy freaking things, oh my god, and then Cardi was always for the she's a Democrat.
I'm always playing herself because guess what? She gets some hype too.
Yeah, she does get us hyped for sure. What I wanted else to dive into, Carissa, was girl code. Talking about girl code and what that means. Because this is a very interesting topic for me as a daughter who is gonna be in her teens. She's growing up. And I hear the girl code being used at her
Like a girl's
school.
girl.
Yeah.
Well, how do I feel about that?
Yeah, how do you feel?
I'm a girl's girl to girls. I'm a girl's girl to
Yeah.
other girls' girls. I am not a girl's girl to mean girls.
Yeah.
Because I'm not a man. I'm not gonna sit there and allow for one of my in this instance. I know a
Yeah.
lot of men who are friends with other men who are shitty people. No matter what they do, whether they've cheated on spouses, they've hurt other people, they've raped other people,
Idiots.
they will still be friends with them because that's their boy.
Boy code.
Boy code. But boy code, there's no boundaries with boy code.
It's not a code.
No, unless it doesn't apply to them, then all of a sudden it's guy code. But
Indeed.
with girl code or being a girl's girl, I am a girl's girl until you're not a girl's girl.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna sit there and allow my friend to be a cheater. I'm not gonna because guess what? Birds of a feather flock together. I'm not gonna sit there and be like, because you're my friend.
Yeah.
If I've done my due diligence and I'm sitting there and telling her, hey, you shouldn't be doing that and this and that, and she still does and she still proceeds to do it, I'm not okay with that. And I think that kind of goes back to me and the ethics. I'm not okay with that. But a guy would be like, oh, you cheat on your girl? Cool. I'm gonna go cheat on mine too.
Yeah.
Because now we're gonna do it together.
And now we can relate.
Might as well hold each other's dicks at that point. Yeah, and now we can
Might as well hold our hands.
and now we can relate. And that's the thing where I think we touched base on this a few episodes ago where it's so easy for guys to make friends with each other.
Right.
And maybe it's not a good thing now that I think about it because they will sit there and relate on the strangest topic.
Yeah.
And be like, yo, guys will, and this is another thing, guys will
Locker room talk.
Yes.
Which is what we were
I
talking
know
about.
so many guys
What?
who will have sex with the same girl and they will be friends. I think that's really weird.
Oh my god.
For the girl, kudos
Well,
to you. But I know guys,
It's relatable. They can have something to talk about. They can
that's
gossip
so
about it.
weird to me.
Ew.
And then
Yeah.
they'll sit there and be like, she's a whore, but you're next in line.
Yeah. God.
You don't think she knows what she's
Yeah.
doing? And you don't think that she knows that that's your friend?
Do you not know it's a small world and everyone could talk and we're all kind of connected?
When it comes to girls,
Yeah, what is
like
it?
girl code, I think as long as we empower each other.
Yeah.
But as soon as it gets to the point where we turn against each other, then you're no longer part of that group.
I agree. I just want to circle back really quickly about how, like, with guys, they have sex with the same girl or whatever. A boundary for me and what oh my God, so beyond is that they talk about intimate things about it. And like, she is this
Comparing
way.
this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, that is like, beyond toxic and aggravating because that,
But that's all they have to them.
yeah, because they can use that.
Yeah.
They can use that to ruin, to defamation, reputations, gossip. Yeah.
I know a lot of my friends I know we don't talk to with each other.
Yeah. I'm that kind of girl too.
If it was great, then there's that, right? But
Yeah.
we're not going into depth about number
I'm
one,
that type of girl
I don't need
too.
you to know my business. And number two, most times it's embarrassing. So I'm not
I
gonna
know.
so I'm not gonna tell you
I
anything.
know. But there are women that are like that and they
Yeah.
talk about it and that's great. Like good
But guess
good
what?
for them.
I've never heard it leave that with
Yeah,
women.
you have to be with people
With
you
men,
trust.
it goes from this person to that person
They love
to like
talk
their
about
auntie
that
in
juicy
Georgia.
shit.
Like, but that's the
And
thing.
then they're commenting about on their ghost accounts on social media.
Yeah, but the women that I have spoke to that have discussed their sex lives and whatnot, it's remained within our circle always. It's never left.
So is that part of girl code, would you say?
Yes.
Yeah. So then as you're saying girl code, there are limits and boundaries and there's actual rules. And then with guys, it's like where everyone is just
If you have a
bros.
penis,
And you have a dick, right?
mhm, you're part of bro code, which is crazy.
I agree with that.
Mhm.
Now
We
I
still have our morals and our principles, ethics that go
and
with it,
boundaries and
regardless of what we have a vagina or not.
yeah. Okay, we have to dive into this more next episode because we're gonna leave off with I also want to go with the girl code. Why do we need those boundaries? I think it's because of safety.
I
It's
think
because
it's
of
healthy as a
protection. It's
human being
healthy.
to have boundaries.
We're gatherers. We have this empathy and humanity within us. Anyway, but that could be for the next episode. And then what does everybody else think about girl code? Like what are your thoughts? Are there actual rules? Can we number them? Can we list
Mhm.
them? Is it changing? Is there new ones or were there really, really old ones? And when did girl code even begin? That it is part of like a conversation with teens and with young girls. Like that is real because that's where they start to understand social things and the
Mhm.
girls and boys and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Anyway, Clarissa, we did it. Our fourth episode.
I
Can you believe
know.
it? It's crazy. It's
We
been
have
then
a
a
lot of it's
month.
these conversations are getting better and better.
Be
So
like
grateful for
all
that.
kinds of conversation
Mhm.
adding. You
Love all
can
the
be, yeah,
comments.
we love all the comments. You could be all the love, all the anger, all the hate. That's all
Add to the
good.
conversation. That's what we wanna hear.
Yes,
Yep.
exactly. And we always uh encourage everybody to join and just participate and engage. Amazing. All the love. Thank
Thank you.
you. Bye.